Hello, everybody out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And let's finish talking about this episode of And Just Like Crap, Season 3, Episode 7. They Want to Have Fun. That's the name of this episode. They want to have fun. And, quality of the show is not very good. I know I say that all the time, but it's not very good at all. Okay, so I don't know how they're going to end out this season. Okay, because so far we've gotten a big dose of nothing. Okay, nothing has happened. Okay, Aiden and Carrie supposedly broke up. They were going to go on a 5-year hiatus at the end of last season, and yet they're still seeing each other long distance. So nothing came of that. So much of the past 2 seasons of the show were focused on Naya and Naya and Shay's problems, their dating lives, and nothing came of that. Though they're not even on the show anymore, and nobody talks about them. Okay, it's like they never existed, kind of like Samantha. Nobody ever really. I mean, they mentioned her once, like an episode ago. That's it. Okay. They're trying to replace Samantha with Seema. Seema's supposed to be the boss bitch, who thinks she's all that. But Seema's pathetic. Okay, she doesn't have the charm, okay, at all, that Kim Cattrall has, okay, and she doesn't have that. She doesn't have that gravitas, okay. Whereas Kim Cattrall Samantha walked around like she was all that, okay, and she fooled all of you women into thinking that she's very confident, okay. Because she walks around like a boss bitch and just speaks her mind out loud and doesn't care what anybody thinks about her, all that kind of stuff, and you women loved it when Kim Cattrall did that to Samantha. Oh my gosh, she's so strong, she's so independent, she don't need no man, she's successful, she don't, she has her own money, and she's a boss bitch, and she's so smart, and she's sex positive, and she's a role model, and all this kind of shit, where, but if a guy does all that stuff that Samantha did, you would call him an arrogant prick. Okay, so full of himself. Okay, well, what do you think men think about when they see Samantha act that way? Okay, we think she's nothing more than an arrogant fucking prick. Okay, who overvalues herself. She thinks she's a 10, but she's really like a 5. Okay, and then the number ain't going higher the older she gets. All right, and that's the truth. Okay, and I like Samantha's character. She was funny as hell. I like her the way I liked Blanche on the Golden Girls. Here's this woman who's this slut, but she's over the hill, but she still thinks she's a hot piece of ass. That's funny. That's funny that a woman would think that about herself. Okay, it's hilarious. Okay, but with this, it's Seema doesn't have that. Okay, Seema's life is pretty pathetic. If you remember in season 1, she pretended to have a boyfriend. She lied to her parents and told her parents that she had a boyfriend. She came up with an entire backstory for that. And she halfway believed it because Carrie met Seema's parents, and on the car ride back, Carrie had to ask Seema, you do know that you don't really have a boyfriend, right? You do know that you just made that up, right? Like, she had to ask Seema, like, you do realize that you're lying. Okay, you realize that you don't really, because she didn't know if Seema was pretending, like she really believed that she had a boyfriend that didn't exist. Okay, and to me that was kind of tragic. I kind of liked Seema back then because here's this woman who's trying to act like she's this boss bitch, that she's high value, and she only dates high value men. Okay, but deep down inside, she was lying about having a guy in her life. So that was like, okay, so she presents herself one way, but what she really thinks about herself is something totally different. Okay, now I'm starting to understand her. Okay, I'm starting to figure her out, and I kind of rooted for her in season 1. But now they're not giving her any humility at all. Okay, not really. I mean, this is humility. Okay, this doesn't bother her, and it's not going to start having an eye infection and wearing an eye patch at a party with all your friends is not going to stop her. Okay, she's still going to get hit on by high value men. You see what I mean? That's just bullshit. That would never happen in real life. Not with Seema. It might happen with a younger, prettier woman who was a lot nicer. Okay, but not with Seema. Okay, but you never know that by watching this show, okay? Because it's just not real. I'm giving you a straight man's point of view. That's what I do here, okay? And no man with any sort of self-respect and no man with any sort of confidence would ever want to stick his dick in that, okay? No, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen, okay? It's not realistic, okay? Only a low-value man would date Seema, okay? But you would never know that by watching this show because she only dates high-value men. You see what I mean? And that's just not realistic. Nobody believes it. The women that watch the show do not believe. They don't need me on a YouTube channel to tell you this, okay? Most women watch this. They know damn well this is not realistic, okay? This is not realistic, okay? There's women that are a hell of a lot prettier than Seema, younger, who don't smoke, who don't hate men, who don't think they're all fucking that can't even get a high value guy, all right? Like Adam, okay? So don't give me this shit, all right? Don't give me this shit. This is what's called cope. It's cope, okay? It's just Novocaine for you women out there that look like Seema, and you fantasize about a high value man, you know, sneaking into your bedroom at night and just rocking your world all night long. Well, it's not gonna fucking happen, okay? It's not gonna happen. All right. But if you think that life is like this TV show, then you got a lot of problems. You got a lot of problems, okay? Now, me personally, I like superhero movies. I just saw Superman the other day, okay? Okay, and for the most part, I enjoyed it. It wasn't great, but I enjoyed it, okay? For the most part, there were some funny jokes in there. It was colorful, you know, optimistic, all that kind of stuff, all right? So for the most part, I thought it was okay. It was a good movie, okay? I enjoyed it. It was worth the money I spent to go see it. But do I think that shit's real at all? No. No, I do not. I walked out of that theater knowing that shit's never going to happen to me. Okay? It's just a movie. It's just there to feed you a story. Okay? It's just there to feed you a story. As a matter of fact, there's a character in Superman, Jimmy Olsen's character, not the Jimmy Olsen that's on this show, Marion, the guy with the girl's name, not that Jimmy Olsen. Okay, he was that big, tall, 7'2", hung to his shoe, black guy, NBA looking motherfucker. Okay, that guy was that guy plays Jax on Mortal Kombat, but before that, he played Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl, the Supergirl TV show. Okay, yeah, that's Jimmy Olsen. Okay, but anyway, in the new Superman movie, Jimmy Olsen is actually white, like he's supposed to be. A white guy, a white kid, you know, in his 20s or something, or late teens or something like that, all right? And the actor that plays him, I don't know who he is, but he's a very average, I'm not saying he's ugly, I'm saying he's an average-looking guy. Okay, the kind of guy you would not notice if you were on a subway train with him, or if he was standing in front of you at a CVS waiting to check out. Okay, he's a guy that you would not pay attention to. Okay, there's nothing particularly special about him. He's not tall. He's not, you know, big shoulders. He's not super good looking. He's not super wealthy. Nothing like that. There's nothing exceptional about him. He looks like an average, ordinary guy, lots of freckles, you know, that kind of thing. But there's a joke in the movie that all these hot young women are attracted to him. Okay, and they reference this joke over and over again. Like, how can a guy like that get all these like hot women are in love with him? Like, what the fuck? This is ridiculous. And he plays it off like, oh God, another hot girl blowing up my phone. Damn it. You know, I swear to God, I am just, you know, like he even can't understand why all these women like him. He can't even understand it, okay? And it's a joke. It's a joke because in real life, a guy like that would not get noticed, okay? If he's not the fucking son of a movie star or some shit like that, no woman is going to jump on his pole. He's going to have to do something to make himself stand out from the crowd in real life, okay? He would have to find something and exploit that to get women to pay attention to him, to notice him. Okay, but of course that doesn't happen in the movie because it's a joke. All right, it's a joke, and we know it's a joke. No guy in that theater walked out there thinking like, oh yeah, that happens to me all the time. No, it doesn't. Okay, that's why it's in the movie. It's a joke. Okay, but this show takes it seriously. Okay, this show is like, oh yeah, butt ugly women like Miranda and Seema, they get hit on all the time by high value millionaires, by corporate CEOs, by professional movie directors, you know, by nightclub owners. Okay, shit like this is bull. It's fake. God damn, wake up. I give you a straight man's point of view, whether you like it or not. The real question you got to ask yourself is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? Because you're gonna get it. Straight up, baby, with no lube. There ain't no lube here. Don't even ask me for any. I don't have any. I'll never have any. Because you're going to get it the way you like it. All right. Now, let's get back to this episode, okay? We're at the party, okay? Charlotte's birthday party. Her 60th birthday party. Yes, 60th. Because Kristen Davis turned 60 this past February. Her 60th birthday party. All right. All these different plot lines are going along here. There's a lot of bad karaoke, a lot of old songs. Girls just want to have fun. Hopelessly devoted to you. Copacabana, one of my personal favorites. All that stuff's going on there. You've got the gay couples in there. You got the dogs. Oh, sorry, the gay couple is the dog, or the dog. Sorry. Then you've got Bitsy Von Muffling crash the party, and she's all her like 85-year-old ass is all wet for Giuseppe, not knowing that he's gay. Okay, and then you've got Giuseppe's mom there. Okay, and Anthony's trying to make a good impression, but she's pissed him off too much, so he reached his limit with her, and now he's starting to disrespect her now. Okay, you got Duncan Reeves, who is not a party goer at all. All he wants to do is fucking talk to Carrie and tell her how fucking great she is, and how smart she is, and what a talented writer she is, and how good her novel is, and how her cock is bigger than his, and how she makes more money, and how she's a better writer than him, and how the usual shit that happens in every fucking episode here. Okay, you got the communists led by Rock. Okay, Charlotte's daughter Rock, okay, and her sister Lily, who's depressed that her gay boyfriend dumped her for a big cock. Okay, and that depresses her, so she didn't want to go to this birthday party. And you got Brady there, who's basically a soy boy, limp dick Ronald McDonald with no makeup on. He's basically the bitch of the party. He just does whatever a woman tells him what to do. He's the guy that cleans up everyone's shit. He's the guy that moves things around. He's just that. He's just basically free labor. There, you've got the transgendered fucking caterers. Okay, what else? You've got Lisa and fucking Herbert there. Okay, the black versions of Charlotte and Harry. Okay, and their gay son is there, who took over the karaoke microphone and started singing all the greatest hits, all the gay greatest hits from the 70s and 80s. Okay, they finally took the microphone away from him. Okay, you've got Charlotte's co-workers there at the gallery, the Three Stooges. You got Ugly, and Fat Ugly. They're all there as well. So you got all these different storylines happening at the same time. All right. So Charlotte's there. Okay. And Charlotte tells Harry that she told Carrie the truth about his prostate cancer diagnosis. Okay. But Miranda thinks it's the dog that has cancer. So when Miranda went up to Harry earlier at the party and said, like, hey, I just want to let you know that when the inevitable happens, that we will be here to help out Charlotte through everything. Okay. When the time comes. Okay. Now Harry thought that Miranda was talking about him dying from prostate cancer. But no, Miranda thinks that the dog is dying from dog cancer. Okay, so that's why Harry got upset. Like, oh, you're telling everyone I got prostate cancer? And Charlotte's like, no, I told Carrie, and Carrie told Miranda that the dog has cancer. Okay, and that's what she meant. It meant the dog, not you. All right, so that's going on here. Harry decides that enough of this farce. He's tired of trying to keep this a secret because it's hurting his relationship with his wife. She's all moody now and stuff, and crying all the time because she's acting like she's the one that got diagnosed with prostate cancer and not him. So he decides to end all this shit. He brings all the women, okay, Carrie, Lisa, Miranda, all of them into the kitchen. And he tells all of them, he tells them all. He brings them all in the kitchen and tells them that the dog is fine. There's nothing wrong with his dog, Richard Burton. Okay, but it's him that has prostate cancer. Okay, but he tells them all, listen, they caught it early. Okay, he's gonna have surgery next week. Okay, and the chances are good that he will be fine. He's got a 98% chance of recovery. Okay, and he tells everyone there that it was not smart or fair to ask Charlotte to keep it a secret from all of her girlfriends. Okay, so now they can openly talk about it. Okay, and then Charlotte says like, oh, that was the best birthday gift ever. Now I can tell everyone about your prostate cancer. Hey, that kind of thing, Okay, the very next scene here, Adam is there. Adam is drunk out of his mind. That's the only reason he finds Seema, who's already butt ugly, but now she's butt ugly with a fucking eye patch on that she made from her Louis Vuitton fanny pack. Yes, this is what happened. Okay, she got an eye patch on because the last time she saw Adam, he plucked an eyebrow from her with his manure-soaked fingers, and now she got an eye infection. All right, so that's going on here. He's drunk. He flirts with butt ugly pirate Seema during the horror segment of this episode. Yeah, it's like The Conjuring here. Okay, and about pedicabs and shit. He's something about pedicabs. whatever the fuck that means. And Seema laughs with she pulls a fucking Chrissy from Three's Company. You know, Suzanne Summers was famous for playing the character of Chrissy, who's a dumb blonde on Three's Company, but sexy as hell. And whenever she laughed with a snort. I actually dated a girl once that did that as well. And yeah, it's not as cool as it looks. All right. So that's going on here. Okay. Adam tells her, hey, guess what, Seema? There is no young, hot yoga girlfriend in my life anymore. Okay, we split up. Okay, because after I smelled your disgusting body odor, I knew I could never be with that hot, young, big-tittied, athletic yoga instructor anymore. Okay, that's what he tells her. Okay, and it's very realistic too. Okay, next scene is Gia. That is Giuseppe's mom. She's there and she tells Giuseppe that she wants to stay. And Giuseppe thinks she means that she wants to stay at the party because Giuseppe's ready to go. He's tired of fucking doing karaoke with fucking butt ugly, older than God, Bitsy von Muffling, who's too fucking stupid to realize that he's gay. Okay, all she can do is smell the fucking huge cock bulging out of his fucking pants. All right. So that's going on here, okay? And he says like, oh, whoa, I don't want to stay at this party. And she's like, no, I don't mean the party. I mean New York. I want to stay in New York for another week because she's visiting from Rome, okay? And she says like, I don't really like the party. I'm ready to leave the party. There's too much singing here, okay? But I love my little boy, that kind of thing. So that's going on here. So we're gonna see. That means that basically this means that we're gonna see her next episode. All right, because she ain't going nowhere. All right. What do you call it? That's going on here. Carrie stops Seema. Seema's about to ghost the party. She tells Adam that she's gonna go get another drink, and instead she walks straight for the fucking front door. She's about to fucking leave. All right. Well, Carrie stops her from leaving. Okay, and calls her Captain Jacqueline Sparrow. Okay, no, actually, Johnny Depp is a lot better looking than you, Seema, okay? And I'm straight, and even I'm saying that. All right? From leaving the party, okay? But now, all of a sudden, Seema's embarrassed to be there. Not when she decided to fucking put together a goddamn Louis Vuitton eye patch from her Louis Vuitton fucking fanny pack. Not when she decided to go into this fucking party in a fucking eye patch. She was never embarrassed back then, but now she's embarrassed. Now that she's talking to a guy who sticks his hands in dirt and manure for a living, now she's embarrassed because she's starting to like this guy. Okay? Get the fuck out of here. All right? Now she doesn't want to be seen with this eye patch and shit. And she's hoping that Adam is so fucking drunk that he'll forget all about this. All right? So that's going on. Despite the fact that she always treats him like shit. Okay? Which I guess he's used to because he's around shit all the time. And he likes to smoke too, and so does she. So maybe they are a good couple. Anyway, so that's going on. Okay, she's embarrassed because of her eye patch. Okay, then why the fuck did you even come to this party, Seema? If you're embarrassed by the way you look, why the fuck did you even show up at this goddamn party? Nobody forced you to be here. Okay, you barely fucking know Charlotte. You weren't on Sex in the City. Okay, this is a load of crap. All right. So Seema says, I am Irish goodbying or Indian goodbying, okay? And he might be drunk enough to forget about this eye patch that I'm wearing, okay? That kind of thing, all right? So drunk, all of a sudden she's about to leave, and all of a sudden drunk, beer-goggled Adam decides to grab the karaoke microphone, and he starts singing, okay? He starts singing Betty Davis Eyes, a girl song, of course. The men, have you noticed the men are doing most of the singing in this episode, and they're all singing girl songs? Okay, yes. Okay, so he starts singing Betty Davis Eyes, okay, which is an old song. I remember that when I was a kid. It came out in 1981. Okay, and it's sung by Kim Carnes, a female. She sang the song about the late, great Betty Davis, who was a classic movie star back in the 30s and 40s, and then her career went to shit in the 50s, and the next thing you know, in the 60s, she's in fucking Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, okay? And then she showed up on Dallas for a while, and then she died. Anyway, so Betty Davis, okay, he starts singing Betty Davis Eyes, she's got Betty Davis eyes. You know the song, anyway. And he says, like, on the mic, he says, to the woman with the most beautiful eye I've ever seen. He's talking about seeing. This is just, God, just seriously, beer God. Where are all the guys at this party? There's no men at this party. A man would have fucking grabbed fucking Adam and gotten him out of there before he did something he's going to regret. Okay, that's what boys are there for, okay? You protect your guy friends from fucking ugly girls. That's one of the reasons you go out with your buddies. Okay, they protect you from fucking ugly girls. All right. Damn, I mean, didn't you ever see fucking Beer Fest? That's basically the plot of that movie. All right, moving right along. Okay, so this is just gross. It's gross and fake. Okay, no guy like this would ever be attracted to Seema. Okay, I know I've said that many times, but I'm underlining it again. No man like this, okay, a guy who owns his own gardening business. And before that, he owned a successful t-shirt business, okay, when he was still in high school, no less. All right, a guy like this, okay, would ever find Seema attractive. We're supposed to believe that, okay? No, this is the Ron Jeremy porn for women. Now, what do I mean by Ron Jeremy porn? Okay, for those of you who have ever watched porn, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Ron Jeremy is this short, Jewish, hairy guy. Okay, they called him the Hedgehog. He's very unattractive. Okay, he looks like a fucking troll. Okay, but he's one of the biggest porn stars in the industry. Okay, in the 80s and the 90s, he fucked every hot fucking porn star in the world. Okay, on video, no less. Okay, so how could a guy who's this fucking unattractive, okay, by women's standards, completely unattractive, fuck all these women? Okay, well, because he's a porn star. You see what I mean? So he gets to fuck the kind of women that good-looking rich guys wish they could fuck. Okay, and he's fucked more of them. All right, so it's a fantasy. Okay, the reason he was so popular in the 80s and 90s is because a lot of guys are average looking and they fantasize about fucking drop dead gorgeous, big tits, small waist, big ass, beautiful women. They fantasize about that stuff. And here's this fucking ugly as fuck man who's fucking the girls that most men fantasize about. Okay, so in a way, it's kind of like they're fantasizing that they're him and they're the ones that are fucking that girl. You see, because even the average guy is still better looking than fucking Ron Jeremy. You see what I mean? That's the whole thing. That's why, because guys, they wanted to pretend that they were the ones fucking the girls that Ron Jeremy was fucking. You see what I mean? That's the whole thing. It's a fantasy for men. It's a fantasy for men because most men out there know they're better looking than Ron Jeremy. Okay? So if Ron Jeremy, a butt ugly guy like Ron Jeremy can fuck a lot of hot women, that means that they can too. You see what I mean? That's the fantasy. Okay, and that's what's going on here, but in reverse. This episode is telling you that if you're a butt ugly, chain smoking, alcoholic, eye infected, disgusting, man hating piece of shit, you can still get a high value, good looking guy to fall in love with you. You see what I mean? It's the same thing. Okay, so that's going on here. Okay, of course, Seema and everyone else creams over the man singing the Kim Carnes Betty Davis Eyes song. All right, of course they all do. Okay, nothing gets the women hornier on this show than watching a man act like a fucking woman. All right, okay. They leave together. Seema and Adam leave together in a cab. Yes, a taxi. I guess they still exist. Like, who knew? Okay, and I don't know which is more unbelievable. Okay, that they left the party in a taxi cab, or that they're actually making out in a taxi cab. It's I don't know which one is more fake. All right, but that happens. Okay, Carrie tells Miranda that it was a joy to meet Joy. Okay, so the party's over now. They're cleaning up, and by cleaning up, I mean fucking Brady is cleaning up everything, and Miranda and Carrie are just talking. Okay, Carrie tells Miranda it was a joy to meet Joy. Get it? Get it? Her girlfriend's name is Joy, so it was a joy to meet Joy. Okay, the dog-loving Joy. Okay, and by that I mean Miranda. I don't mean her pet canines. Okay, they're actually better looking than Miranda. Okay, Miranda says that Carrie is keeping the karaoke machine, okay, while she fucking got food in her mouth. Oh, just fucking Christ. I am sick and tired of Cynthia Nixon's character Miranda. Every time she fucking talks, she's always got fucking food in her mouth. I was yelling about this when I reviewed Sex and the City episodes, and I'm fucking yelling about it now. It's fucking disgusting. I'm sick and fucking tired of fucking Cynthia Nixon talking with fucking food in her mouth. God damn. All right. Anyway, so Miranda says something like her and Joy, their relationship is effortless. That's the adjective that she uses to describe her relationship. It's effortless. Okay. Okay, and Miranda points out that Carrie that Carrie and Duncan look like they were vibing at the party tonight. Okay, and Carrie, of course, takes offense to that because Miranda did notice that Duncan and Carrie had a lot of chemistry. Like that was the only person Duncan talked to was Carrie all night. And it looked like they were flirting. You know, she took a sip out of his drink cup and stuff, and they went out to the balcony and had a private conversation. Miranda noticed all this. So she's pointing out that, hey, you and Duncan looked like you were vibing pretty well tonight. That kind of thing. And of course, Carrie takes offense to this because Miranda knows that Carrie has a boyfriend that lives in fucking Virginia. All right? And Miranda's like, are you upset? I thought we were doing a fun little party debrief. And Carrie says, like, I am in a relationship. And Miranda's like, I know. I just thought it was nice to see you two having fun together. And Carrie's like, I don't have fun. You know, she's like, and Miranda's like, I'm not saying anything's going on with you and Duncan. Well, never mind. It just seems like you're working so hard with Aiden. What the fuck would you know about working hard on a relationship, okay? You dumb, fucking, ugly, disgusting piece of shit. You're the one that fucking left your husband, okay, for a goddamn Fred Flintstone clone with lipstick on. Okay, so don't fucking give a relationship advice now, you dumb, fucking, disgusting cunt. Anyway. You know, and Carrie says, like, I am. Not all relationships are effortless. Okay, Miranda? Bullshit. No way does any woman on this show ever sacrifice anything for a man. Okay? No woman sacrifices anything for a man. Even Carrie. Okay? The only reason Carrie hasn't fucked someone else is because she hadn't had time. Okay? We found out last episode that she had absolutely no intention of staying faithful to Aiden. And if you really think about it, she's never had any intention of staying faithful to Aiden. She's never been faithful to Aiden. Okay? So she was just waiting for another guy to come along so she could fuck him. Okay? We established that last episode already. Okay? Aiden was wrong for assuming that Carrie would just fucking wait and diddle her daddle for the next 5 years. No, she was planning on fucking having her love tunnel filled. Okay? On a regular basis. And then, after 5 years go by, then she was going to fucking accept Aiden to come back, okay? Because we all know that would have worked out, right? I mean, she's only 62 years old, right? Of course, they got plenty of time. Okay, so that's going on here, okay? You know, and he says, you enjoy, and Carrie says, you enjoy have what, 1 month together? You know, or no, so you enjoy have like what, 1 week together? And Miranda's like, 1 month? 1 month together, you know, and she's like, well, Aiden and I are over 20 years. Yeah, and you fucked him over back then too. We have over 20 years in, and it's complicated right now. I am allowed to laugh. I am allowed to sip some scotch from another man's glass. And Miranda's like, of course you are. Bad writing. That's not what I'm saying. I read your book. I read your manuscript. It was there. And he left it on the table. I read some of it. And the first sentence in there was, the woman wondered what she had gotten herself into. Because that's the way women used to speak in 1846. I glanced at it. Carrie says, I wrote it months ago, and it's fiction, and it takes place in 1846. Miranda's like, I didn't read it that far. Well, good, it's not you. I'm glad. Now, Brady, of course, is finishing taking out the trash and cleaning up everything while his mom and his mom's friend were fighting in the kitchen. He shows up there, okay, Miranda apologizes to Carrie for being a disgusting piece of shit, home-wrecking piece of shit, okay, and then her and her son leave. Her son, who's not upset at his mother at all for breaking up their family, for breaking his father's heart, they walk out of there together, and then Carrie grabs her pussy, by that I mean her cat. Okay, and she tells her cat that everything's fine, everything's gonna be fine. Then all of a sudden, one of the fucking Pennywise balloons pops and confetti comes out of it. So obviously that's an omen that not everything is going to be fine. We just don't know what. Okay, we're already 7 episodes in the season and nothing has fucking happened. All right? Okay. All right. So yeah, so that was that episode. All right? They're going to drop another episode here soon. Once I've watched that episode, I will review it for you. I am going to be on vacation though, but I am still planning on reviewing the episode despite the fact that I'm probably going to be doing these videos from my hotel room. Okay? My hotel room. All right, but I will review those episodes because I said that I would. Okay, I said that I would, so I'm going to. All right, thank you very much for watching this long. I'll see you soon on the next episode. Bye.